Hello and welcome to another Chinese food adventure. I am in Chengdu. It's one of my favorite cities in China. And as you may or may not be aware, this year Chengdu is the host city for the World Universistiy Games. It's kind of like the Olympics but for university students. So by the time this video comes out, students will be coming from all around the world to come here to Chengdu and compete. But not just compete, also to eat. Because I mean, athletes, they've got to eat too, arguably more than the rest of us. And Chengdu is the perfect place to eat. It's one of the food capitals of China, one of my personal favorite places to eat. So in this video today, I wanted to introduce to some of the athletes what kind of foods you can expect to eat when you come here to Chengdu. So first up, we're actually here at Chengdu University, Chengdu Daxue, which is going to be the athletes' village. And we're going to have a little look at the canteen where athletes will be eating in the next few weeks. So I have just entered the canteen of the Chengdu World Universistiy Games and it is absolutely massive.
我们这个餐厅有1800个位置，另外一个餐厅呢有2000个位置，所以说我们单餐次的话可以满足1万人用餐。
Whoa. First thing that's hitting me when I come inside here is just the variety in cuisine that's going to be offered. I mean, we've got a halal stall over here, continental cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Mediterranean cuisine. I mean, makes me wish I did a bit more sports in university so I could have participated in this and come here to eat.
But unfortunately, since I'm filming this about a month before the games begin, things at the canteen are still getting set up. So while I won't be able to eat here today, I will be able to provide some info about the canteen for athletes who will eventually get to eat here.
为了方便运动员选择，我们每一道菜品都配备有那个菜单卡。 然后在每一道菜单卡上，我们会列5个菜品的信息，包括菜品的名称、菜品的烹饪方法、菜品的主食材，还有菜品的过敏信息，还有营养成分。营养成分呢，我们又会细分为5种，包括能量、脂肪、蛋白质，还有钠，还有一个什么来着？哇，
卡路里
no
钠、脂肪、蛋白质、钠、碳水。
碳水化合物 ，yes great 。我们运动员就可以根据他的营养需求来进行菜品的选择。
因为我是美食博主，我爱吃中国菜，我特别想知道这个中华美食会包括什么样的菜，
比如说我们的 经常吃到的宫保鸡丁啊、回锅肉啊、鱼香肉丝啊。除此之外呢，我们这个运动员餐厅还会引进很多成都和四川当地的有特色的美食，比如说赖汤圆、龙抄手和担担面。还有就是我们会引进成都串串香。
我都流口水了。对。Well, I think at this point I'm ready to get out into Chengdu and explore some of the foods that the athletes are going to be eating. Let's go. Bye bye. 我要去吃饭。Bye bye.
I know athletes are also going to be very excited to hit the streets and try the local cuisine. But remember, if you're not used to eating spice, you can always ask restaurants to add less spice. And if you have any dietary requirements, I'd advise you check out the ingredient list online before you go out and try.
So I thought we could start our food adventure off today with one of the foods that was mentioned will be on the menu at the canteen of the World Universistiy Games, and that is chuan. Chuan is so much fun, and you can probably kind of guess what the concept is all about by looking at the character for chuan, the Chinese character. You've got a stick in the middle, then 2 little bits of food on the stick. So that's basically what's going on with chuan. It's kind of like hot pot, but then you can go choose your ingredients, which are all on sticks. To be honest, there aren't too many differences between hot pot and chuan, but the differences, the small differences may be the reasons why you who are watching this video may want to choose chuan over your traditional hot pot. One of the things I really love about chuan is you aren't served a plate of food. You can choose exactly how much you want to eat. If you're in the mood for 1 cucumber, for example, you can just get up and choose yourself 1 cucumber. So this really is great for suiting any kind of dietary requirements. You have a lot of veggies here, you've got tofus, you've got meat, you've got carbs. So for any nutritional profile that you're looking for, there's something for everyone here. Basically, I'm just gonna get myself a bucket. I'm gonna put my cucumber in there and choose what I feel like eating. Oh, wow, this is very Sichuan. It's beef, and on the inside you have xxxx. Xixingcao is one of those ingredients that not everyone loves.
Some people describe its taste as soapy and fishy. I'm historically not the biggest fan of it.
Let's try it. Let's see if I like it more today. Oh my gosh, check out this one. Did I mention that Sichuan people love their spicy food? This here, we have a piece of beef, and inside we have a chili. So I've mentioned this before on my channel, but when it comes to hot pot and chuan, I tend to get really full really quickly if I'm eating meat. So I tend to go for like a lot of veggies, a lot of tofu. I also feel like it's quite good for me. You know, you can eat more nutritious. So I'm gonna pile my bucket with veggies. And yeah, as you can probably imagine, you pay by the stick. So at this restaurant, every stick costs 0.6 of a renminbi.
So we've got our sticks. Next step is mixing a dipping sauce. You can add whatever takes your fancy. Peanuts, chili, garlic, oyster sauce. But as a general rule, Chengdu locals like to make dipping sauces with a base of sesame oil. Okay, now let's talk about the hot pot base.
So when it comes to ordering the hot pot base here in Chengdu, locals 99.99% of the time will just order one big pot with just the spicy stuff. But there is also an option for people who maybe can't eat as much spicy or want to avoid a bit of spicy if they're eating with friends, is to get something called a guo, which is split in half like so. And one half you can have the spicy stuff, and then the other half you can have something non-spicy, for example, you know, a tomato base or something like that. So that's an option available to you if you're an athlete coming for the University Games. Maybe keep this in mind. And basically the concept is simple. Get what you have chosen and put it in the half of your choice. For me, I'm a spicy girl at heart, so I'm gonna put it straight into the spicy stuff. There we go. And that's another thing I really love about Chuan. There's no fishing out your ingredients. Everything is on sticks, so it's so much easier to like get your stuff out and into your mouth.
And after 5 minutes or so of boiling, your sticks will be ready to do just that.
Once it looks like your ingredients are cooked, take out what you want. You can just put it in your little sauce here that you've made yourself. Give it a little shuffle around in your pot. Get all those yummy juices of the sauce you've just made. Yum. And then just keep going until you can't eat no more. I always eat so much food when I come to hot pot or chuan.
And the best thing is, if you finish your items and you're still hungry, all you have to do is grab your bucket and get more at any time.
So I'm really keen to try this. It's a piece of beef with a piece of Yusing Tao in the middle.
This is the ingredient that I mentioned I'm not the biggest fan of.
So let's see how I like it today. I think it's just better with just beef. Just beef is already really good. I'm still not quite used to it. Yeah, maybe a word of caution for any of you university students that are coming to Chengdu. Watch out for that ingredient because you may not love it. Well, I think I've really chosen the best possible meal to start off this World University Game food adventure because, you know, much like the World University Games bringing together people from countries all around the world, Chuan, it's really a similar concept, except instead of bringing people from all around the world, it's bringing together delicious pieces of meat that will then go into our bellies.
Speaking of getting delicious things into our bellies, let's head to food stop number 2, where we'll be sampling some of the city's most famous snacks.
So one of the things Chengdu is really famous for is its snacks. There are so many amazing snacks here in this city, many of which will be appearing in the canteen of the World University Games here in Chengdu. So I thought I would come to a snack bar and just eat some snacks basically. Any excuse will do. I've come to this place that has the most interesting menu. The menu is actually just on the table here. You just point and order.
And today I'm going for some absolute classics. First up, dandan mian. It's chewy noodles topped with chili oil, peanuts, and pork mince.
You want to mix it until every noodle has a good coating of chili oil and all of those sauces, all of those peanuts have dispersed itself, and that very savory pork mince has made its way through the dish. Okay, let's go in with a big mouthful. There's a reason this dish is so famous and so popular. It's just so good. I mean, really savory and salty. You got that chili oil that gives your mouth a nice buzz, the crunch of the peanuts, slightly al dente noodle. I mean, spaghetti bolognese, eat your heart out. But dandan mian is not the only famous noodle that you can find here in Chengdu. There is another noodle that actually myself I haven't tried. It's very, very famous, and every time I come to Chengdu, for some reason, I have never gotten a chance to try it. It is tian shui mian, which literally translates to sweet water noodles. And it's called sweet water noodles because on top here you have a lot of sugar. It's also got a lot of peanuts. It's also got that chili oil. Actually, I saw him making it earlier and he put a bit of everything in there. So I feel like it's gonna be a real whack bang of flavor, but we won't know, of course, until we try. So let's mix it up. So apparently this dish comes hot and cold. The dish that I've got today is actually being presented cold, so it's not actually a hot noodle, but I've been told you can also order it hot. But oh my goodness, looks as I'm mixing this up, how thick that sauce looks at the bottom there, and I can only tell you how amazing that smells. First impression, I'm loving how thick those noodles look. It's sad it's taking me so long to eat this because I actually prefer this to the dandan noodles. I just love that extra added level of flavor with the sweetness. There's so many sauces in here, so to be honest, I don't really know what I'm tasting. It's just a little bit of everything. You've also got a peanuttiness, a sweetness, a saltiness. I really like the texture of those noodles. I love how they're really fat and chewy, those noodles. And I don't mind it not being hot, to be honest, because I feel like it's more on the refreshing side because it's cold and it's sweet. Love that. That will not be my last Sichuan mian, that's for sure. So far today, the foods that I've been eating have been very typical kind of what people think of when they think of Sichuan cuisine, you know, quite spicy, a lot of chili oil, very flavorful.
But there is another side to Sichuan cuisine. Would you believe me if I told you these two dishes are actually classic Sichuan dishes?
So I've just had this plate of food delivered to my table and I've never seen a Sichuan dish quite like it. So I've got the chef here, Ma Shifu, who's actually going to explain me a little bit about it. Ma Shifu, 你可以帮我介绍这道菜吗？我真的没有看过这种川菜。
这个菜它名字叫清汤鸡豆花，它历史可以追溯到很久，差不多100年前了。这个菜它就工序非常繁琐，做的人就越来越少了。看上去像豆花，实际上它是用鸡肉做的，而且它是一个非常营养丰富，然后看上去也很漂亮、美观，吃着口感也很好。
I have to admit, I find the concept kind of hilarious because I've had a lot of tofu dishes in my life that try to mimic meat dishes, but this is the first time I've ever seen a meat pose as tofu. So let's go in with a spoonful here. Oh, look how soft that texture is. It really falls apart as I put my spoon through it. And yeah, consistency-wise, it's looking very tofu-like. Oh, wow. It's so interesting because it's super, super chickeny in flavor, but it doesn't have any of that stringy quality that you would associate with chicken. It has the texture of tofu. So it's a little bit interesting in the brain because as I'm eating it, the texture is definitely tofu, but that taste is unmistakably chicken. It's really good. Really, you know, nice and warming. I'm gonna try some of this soup. Ooh. It's just very easy on the stomach. Actually, after all the spicy food I've had today, this is the absolute perfect thing. So my second dish here has just arrived. 这个叫什么？
这个叫开水白菜，看起来简单，但是里面体现的全是看不到的一些时间和花的功夫。
它需要多长时间做出来
？10个小时左右。
哇哦，你需要4个小时做成这个菜？
对对，主要是熬汤。
I have to say, it's very delicate and very beautiful looking. It's like a work of art, this cabbage. Such a fancy little cabbage. Look how cute it looks. Fits on my spoon there. I think I'm just gonna pop it in. It's very simple, but sometimes simple is the best. It's cooked absolutely perfectly. It's neither too crunchy or too limp. It really brings out the natural flavor of the cabbage. It's really nice, simple, delicious. Definitely a different side of Sichuan cuisine. I mean, if you're an athlete and you're here in Chengdu and you're looking for something maybe a bit more nutritious, good for digestion, something that's gonna make you feel good before you go to bed at night, perhaps, I would definitely recommend this. So that brings us to the end of today's food adventure. I want to say a big welcome to all of the athletes from all around the world that are going to be coming to Chengdu for the World University Games. 加油! Hope you go well at your sport. And don't forget to enjoy the amazing cuisine of Sichuan, of Chengdu. There are some of my favorite foods that you can find here, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy them too. So good luck to everyone. Wishing everyone the best for the World University Games. And yeah, see you next week. Bye guys.